So my mom left Vietnam in the late 70s. And in fact, she was pregnant with my brother when she left, and she spent a year in Indonesia until she finally relocated to the US. And a few years later, she met my dad, they got married, she had me, my twin brother, the American dream, right? Well, shortly after my dad left, and it was just me and my mom and my brothers, and she didn't have any of her family members. In fact, she didn't have a high school education, she barely spoke English, and she was grinding just to make ends meet. In fact, she would work 2 to 3 jobs at a time, right? And as I was describing this, maybe you can relate to it, right? Maybe you heard your story as I was sharing mine. Now, I have to pause right here just to say, moms are the best. Like, I'm not kidding. Moms are simply the best. One of my favorite quotes is this. It says, "A mother's love is a fuel that enables a human being to do the impossible," by Marion C. Garrity. And so, moms, you guys are seriously the best, and I just have to applaud you. Now, being a single parent is not easy, right? It is so difficult. I'm not a parent, but as I watch my friends parent with a partner or a support system, man, I can see how difficult it is. And so I can't even imagine what it would be like to do it with just one or neither of those things. Now, my brothers and I were little terrors, right? We weren't too bad, but we didn't make it easy on my mom. We didn't always have it easy. We didn't have money. We qualified for free and reduced lunch. We didn't have fancy vacations or summer homes. In fact, we didn't even get to do like fun extracurricular activities because mom didn't have any money, right? I didn't even get my license until I was 17 because I had to work a full year to help my mom buy my car. And I wish I could tell you I was an angel, but man, I was a complainer, right? I would let my mom know I didn't have it as nice as my friends. Right? I was a brat. Mom, why can't we have a bigger house? Why do I have to share a room with my brother? Why can't we go on fun trips? And just complaining, saying all these things, making it harder for my mom. And it leads me to this Bible verse that's just so powerful. It says this: Therefore there is now no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus, who did not walk according to the flesh, but according to the Spirit. Romans 8:1. Now, if you're like me, the moments where I feel the most condemned isn't in the eyes of others. Actually, it's the person staring back in the mirror, right? Like, we are always harder on ourselves than others, right? We are always our worst critic. You're not doing enough. Why don't you try harder? And in this comes this guilt. Am I doing enough? Right? Me saying all those things to my mom, reminding her that she isn't doing enough. Right? Guilt, it's this funny thing, right? It's so heavy, the weight of it, but you can't see it. I was helping my friend move the other day, and we were just carrying this huge dresser, and every time I would take a few steps, we'd have to pause because I'm just not in great shape, and I'd take a deep breath, then we'd carry it again, and eventually we would move it. But that's what guilt is like. It's this heavy dresser that we're just carrying around. In fact, you can't always just set it down to catch your breath, and you're just having to keep moving, and it makes everything so difficult. And moms, when you feel this way, when the weight is so heavy because you feel like you aren't doing enough, I want to encourage you in this, okay? Keep your eyes forward, right? Like, don't take your eyes off what's important. When you look to the left or to the right and see what other parents are providing their kids, you lose focus on what is really important, what you are doing for your child. There is no condemnation for those in Jesus. And so don't lose sight of this. In fact, I want you to run towards this truth. 2 Corinthians 12:9. But he said to me, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me." When guilt has beaten you to your knees and you feel the most helpless, lean into the Spirit. Man, I don't know about you, but I often see the clearest picture of Christ in my weakness, not in my strength. In my flaws, in my imperfections, when things go wrong, those are the opportunities for the Spirit to work. And when we experience guilt, we are at a crossroads. We can listen to the lies that we aren't doing enough, or we can just run towards God. The best thing you can do for your kids is to take care of your heart and you don't need to feel guilty about that. Here's this truth. You may not be able to provide your child with everything they want. My mom didn't, but she did provide me with everything that I needed. A safe place to experience love and growth. Was life tough? You bet, but I wouldn't change my story for anyone else's. Batman is my all-time favorite superhero, but he is surpassed by one person, my mom. She is my hero. I look back at my life and see how hard she has worked, her sacrifices and her selflessness, and those things stick with me. And your child is watching you. They may not be able to verbalize what they are seeing, but they are learning from you, learning determination, strength, dedication, and love. And when they are adults, they will look back and say, my mom is my superhero.